It is yet another Thursday. That means the weekend is right around the corner. A good morning to you, cherished viewers. You are welcome to the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. I am your host, as always, Yaira Awuno. We're coming to you live from the studios of Clock TV, and you can also catch us on GoTV channel 184. Don't forget, if you are on your way to work, you can also join us in the live stream on Facebook and on YouTube. So just go onto these platforms and search for Clock TV, and then you can join us. You can send your comments to our WhatsApp number or onto our live stream on Facebook and on YouTube as well. Now, here on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show, we bring to you the most informative, educative, and entertaining segments like business, lifestyle, entertainment, sports, in-depth discussions, motivational quotes to give you a well-rounded experience and sets the tone for your day. Next is the motivational quote of the day with Clement Yabankwe. It's time for our motivational quote of the day, and as always, I do this with my co-hosts here with me in the studio, in the persons of Mr. Clement Yabankwe and Miss Miriam Abnadide. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Yeah. How are we doing this morning?
Feeling so excited.
November is ending.
I can't.
Payday is just around the corner. Some of us will be paid. Yes. So how are we feeling? The weekend and everything.
Yeah, right. It's so amazing for me. I'm preparing to go to Achimota Forest this Saturday with
see.
Mimi. Yes.
You know.
Okay. Take us there.
Yeah, it is very important that we commit the upcoming election into God's hands. And you know, it's just next week.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. So we really need to, invest much prayers into it so that we'll all be free and, safe at the end.
And then on behalf of Ghanaians, we thank you, because it seems our lives are in your hands at this point. So Clement, what is the motivational quote for this morning?
Okay, so let's have the motivation on the screen, a producer. So the motivation says, life is either a daring adventure or nothing. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. So that's today's motivation. And it's trying to tell us that in life, you meet a lot of challenges. You meet a lot of situations that you think it won't benefit your journey. But your ability to overcome that situation makes you who you want to be. I've come to understand that in life, you need to step out from your comfort zone, step out from the family you come from, step out from wherever you find yourself. And whenever you step out, you need to step up. You don't step out and remain idle, but you step out from your comfort zone and you step up. When you do that, life becomes so easy for you. So I just want to tell viewers this very morning that, yes, Fantafose, Obrayo Okon, you get it, Obrayo Okon. So it's a battle. Life is a battle. So let's fight it and have the determination that you are going to win the battle. That is the only thing I want to say.
Thank you very, very much.
Well
yes,
well,
Mrs. Clement.
Yeah, you've made it official, right?
Yes.
That's very good. But the little I can add is that this quote is like an invitation to self-growth and also development. And we can only achieve these things if we have the courage to, embark on risk-taking, to, walk in a life that we don't even know what is ahead of us, full of uncertainties here and there. So it is just telling us that you need to be adventurous. When we say someone is an adventurous person, we know the person is fearless. The person goes everywhere. There are parents who say, "Oh, I want my baby to be adventurous. I want success." But I mean, it is just telling us that we need to be very courageous in this life to be able to be successful at the end of the day.
Wow, thank you so much. So the little I would like to add is that just like we see our adventure games or our adventure movies, there are so many hurdles that the character has to face in order to win the ultimate reward or the ultimate prize or achieve the ultimate goal or even just get to the next level. And so if you sit idle in your life, your life will just be wasted. You would get into your old age and look back and realize I did not live.
Yeah.
So regardless of everything that may be happening, whether it is challenges, whether they are setbacks, the whole basis of everything today is to have the courage to take that step forward. And I hope that as you go through your day, this motivates you to from that setback and then also achieve any goal that you intend to achieve. Spread positivity as you go about your day and also keep that beautiful smile on your face. Next is the online newspaper review with my usuals, and we will be right back.
Clog TV, Beyond the Policy.
Welcome back to the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. If you're just tuning in, this is the Cocoa Digest Morning Show, and it's time for our online newspaper review with Miss Miriam Abnadede and Clement Yaban-Kwe. Now, don't forget, you can send in your comments, your suggestions to our WhatsApp number displayed on your screen or onto our live stream on Facebook and on YouTube. Just look for Clog TV on these two platforms and join in the conversation. Yes, my lady and my gentleman. Then Ekosu, streets of Ghana news gatherers, yes. Today I didn't say trending news officer.
We thank God.
What is happening?
A lot has been happening, especially with the fact that we are heading towards the polls in, I think, less than 10 days.
Yes, 9 days to go.
A lot has really been happening in terms of elections and security here and there. And one of the concerning videos that I came across on social media has to do with the attack on Metro TV yesterday, which has been trending for some time. Some unknown individuals, went to Metro TV while they were having their live morning show like what we are doing now, and then they wanted to break into the studio and attack the presenters and also the guests, and this has raised a lot of concern. Some are tagging the incumbent governments for causing this. Others are also saying it is an individual. We don't really know what is happening, but I think Clement has some information on that when it comes to the security aspect.
That's very true.
Even before that, in the video we saw policemen, Ghana policemen, in the video, accompanying those that came to attack Metro TV, and that has also raised concerns about our security system in this country, because when there was this video with the presenter coming back from a break telling people what was happening, and then he said, we are hoping that the Ghana police will come and resolve the issue. It just dawned on him that actually the Ghana police, they are already here. And it's already happening. So they don't really know who to trust now. So
Mimi, the story, I followed it yesterday, and early this morning I got the press release, or let me say official statement from that is Ignite Media Group, where Metro TV, Original TV and Original FM, they are put together. And they are saying that this is not the first time. But their statement, last year it happened to the same host, that is Dr. Randy Abbey. So you could see the attack is actually on Dr. Randy Abbey.
Not Metro TV.
Not Metro TV. Because looking at the statement, let me read paragraph 3. It says, it's also important to state that last year, the said George Addo, the auctioneer, led a team of masked policemen armed to the teeth in a pickup truck to lay in wait for Dr. Randy Abbey and blocked his vehicle upon his arrival to host the Good Morning Ghana program. This attempt last year, among other things, to seize the vehicle of Dr. Randy Abbey was orchestrated to execute the same judgment. This effort was opted when Dr. Randy Abbey vehemently resisted the said attempt, as the property they sought to attack was his. So consider the attack has been on Dr. Randy Abbey. Last year it happened, and this time around too. When you read the story, and as you said, released by the Ghana police, it's also saying that their preliminary investigation proved that there is an issue between. It's a preliminary police investigation indicates that upon a request from the court, police officers accompanied a court's bailiff in the company of the judgment creditor, that is Vodacom Business Ghana Limited, to execute a court order against Metro TV. So you could see that. So
they went there to execute a court order to Metro TV.
Yes. A court order. So that is where we have policemen escorted the plaintiff because they are a bailiff. Yes. Because they are there to execute a court order. But they are saying that they are going to dig more into this to know what is really happening.
But even with a court order, they're supposed to have a warrant. Did they have that warrant in hand and show it?
And they did. In the video, when Randy Abbey was talking, addressing the media, he made mention of the fact that they came with a warrant, but they his concern is the fact that the attack is geared towards him and not Metro TV. He's like, he's a staff.
So even with the
Metro
warrant,
TV.
what is the content of the warrant? Because the warrant would tell us why you are here.
So
why
the company you just mentioned,
yes,
I think they have an issue with Metro TV.
Metro TV.
It has to do with finances or something.
But if you have an issue with Metro TV, why not take it up with management?
So just assuming you are seated here and then people come, they have an issue with Clock TV and they come to attack you because you are the main host.
I think, you see, the whole issue is Good Morning Ghana is a prime show. Yeah. We didn't want to talk much about that, so leave it here. It's a prime show of Metro TV. So in other response, people think if they attack your prime show, you would automatically respond to issues. That would be the idea. If not, I don't think why they would do that. Yeah. And notwithstanding, we are in election period, and this thing shouldn't be allowed. Especially, we'll be going out to cover elections from second special voting and on the 7th of December. Yeah. And now in someone's studio, you can come in for any other reason, attack a host. It's very bad. So they should tell us that, they should tell us that when they see the staff of Metro TV out there during election day, what will happen to them? So this is angle that we should look at.
And even last year, this same thing happened to UTV, another TV station here in Ghana, and this is happening to Metro TV. We don't know the next TV station in line.
It has ended.
Well, because if you're saying it's a court order, then the court should, there should be some information about that. Why is the court order also directed at just one host of the program? So just like what Clement said. And the court is supposed to be, for lack of a better word, a more reasonable and rational body.
Right now, we don't know the content of the warrant, so we can't speak to it. Yeah. So let's just leave
because
it.
Because I also saw a video where he was saying his car was blocked and things, and I think he was saying they wanted to take his car or something of the sort. So it does not add up, truly, but I mean, we're waiting for
let's leave it here.
Yeah, exactly. Let's leave
just
it here.
Tell our viewers what's happening.
Sure.
So we have a comment here, and this says, "Hey, Clement." So this says, "Good morning. My first time watching you live on Clock TV. Enjoying the show already. Hi to Clement. This is from Doreen in Accra." Please, Clement is married though. His wife is sitting right beside him. So
Doreen, I'll contact you after this. I'll contact you.
But okay, this is not a conversation. So let's go to another thing. No.
Relationship is
our time is limited. Let's move to the next one.
Okay, so what
I don't want any premium booking hats.
Yes, too early. I didn't.
Clement, what do you have for us?
Maybe the next story need to you see this trending of, is it pistols, toy gun, to an extent that one of the ministers couldn't stand it, so he also have to pull his gun for his defense. That is Inshayoso, Member of Parliament. And I was thinking about it in the car that toy gun crana.
No, Clement, you see, I watched a video. I'm not even talking about the MP's reaction, but I watched the video. The first time I saw a video of someone pulling the toy gun, and then the video was like taken behind the person. Actually, I thought it was a real gun. To be very honest, I thought it was a real, and my heart just, so I realized it was just a toy gun. So maybe that was the same feeling he, experienced.
So, Mimi, this have issue to deal with. Now, our political officials or our leaders have, every Ghanaian have the right to possess gun. But the question is, how many of us can buy such gun and also get the right to have it in our possession? Because now you could see that as somebody buy a Pepepeno, he was able to defend himself by pulling out a gun. So let's ask ourselves that on the day of, assuming election day, something should happen. As a layman sitting here, do you have a gun to protect yourself? You don't.
And this is the second time this is happening.
I don't think it is a right to own a gun, especially if it's not licensed.
Yeah, so when you are licensed, you can have a gun in possession. So it could be that
very costly too. So a lot of people brandishing guns, I'm not sure these are licensed, registered guns, because I think I remember when we spoke with, was it the national security guest or someone related? You are supposed to renew the license for the gun every 12 months or something of the sort. I cannot recall, but so it may not necessarily there are some sort of rules to follow with owning a gun. Yes, because these people holding toy guns.
This is a member of parliament.
Yes, so he can
afford.
No, I'm just trying to correct the fact that it is not a right to everybody to just own a gun if it is not licensed, especially. So let's proceed.
So I think my whole issue is they can have it in their possession because they have the means, they have the money to just do whatever they want to do. But a layman like us, you can't buy it. Even as you're talking about renewal, you can't even renew it. So they should tell us that we should be very careful and let's be able to protect the peace we have in this country. So
yesterday I was having a conversation with someone regarding this toy gun thing, you know, happening in Kumasi currently, and the person was like, it is our duty as the media to stop the Ghana police from arresting these people and tell Ghanaians that this is a form of fun, something they are also doing to entertain themselves. No, because apparently I think about 4 or 5 people have been arrested in relation to this. And just yesterday I also saw another video, I don't know if the MCR has it, where they were making noise all over with this small baby trumpets.
Yes, and balloons.
Balloons. They were just making noise all over, calling it fun. Do we know that it is wrong, or it goes against the constitution to make noise when you don't have the rights from I've forgotten, but there is this portion in the constitution that says you cannot make noise. Because when you watch the video, you just look at the people making noise all over. All over.
So it could be their trending way of jubilating.
No, it's so bad.
Jubilating over what exactly?
I don't know what's happening in Kumasi. Tomorrow we'll hear another trending thing happening there.
And you know, with the MP also brandishing a gun, has there been anything done about it? Because if people are brandishing toy guns and they are being arrested, what about, you know, these people in power or in positions of power? Did he is gun licensed? Is it right for him to also have a gun? Why does he have a gun in the midst of people? Is he not probably sort of, what's the word, putting people at risk or in some sort of danger? Because if, let's say, his temper or something got flared and then he fired a warning shot, or maybe the safety of the gun wasn't turned on, and then as he's holding it, you know, mistakenly hits somebody and then takes a life or injures somebody, what is going to happen? Because if people are being arrested for toy guns, what about those who are brandishing them in public? And was he really in a position where he needed to defend himself, where holding the gun would show that, hey, you know, steady kakra or something? These are all things we need to look at, because these are leaders, and if we the laymen are looking up to our leaders and we are saying that MP cards make it or no protecting the so these things too, it cannot just go down. I think even when there was it wasn't buses, it was some equipment in one of the regions where there was a clash between the MPP supporters and NDC supporters. We also saw something like that happening, a gun again. So what is going on, and is the police doing anything about this?
Yara, that's why I say that this issue is very, very critical, because if they have the gun in their possession and anything should happen, as what the MP did, the spokesperson, when you listen to the spokesperson, he said he did that for self-defense. He was thinking that the toy gun is a real gun. And I was asking myself, in the midst of people, and you pull out a real gun, as these are the instances you raise up, what if mistakenly you just shoot in the air and someone should lose his life?
And even the fact that news has come out that these are toy guns they are using to play. So
like this, what should you do? Self-defense. So if you want to have a gun, just go through the process that the Constitution has laid down for you to go through. If you go through the
first time I saw the video, I didn't know it was a toy gun until water started coming out. Then I was like,
because when we mention self-defense, there is usually some form of attack. That's the angle I'm coming from. Asking that the self-defense may not be the best fit for for defending this issue, but we have
lawyers.
Yes, exactly.
I also wanted to add up that 2020 we all witnessed what happened in Kaswa, where Honorable Hawa Kumsen also fired a gunshot just because some non-constituents came to her constituency to vote. And when she was asked, she said she cannot sit and watch people who are not part of her constituency come and vote for her opponent, and so that's why she needed
to. How would she know they were voting for her opponent? Secondly,
those people
is using a gun the only way to enforce law and order?
She's a lawmaker, so so she can make laws anyway.
Gun. If you are using guns to enforce law and order, then we are not the democracy we think we are.
Sometimes you need to push people.
No.
Yeah, so this discussion, let's leave it here.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about.
Okay, so we have comments from here. Our very own Abiba Wilson says, good morning, Ira, Mimi and Clement. Good morning to you too. HM Joe says, why will one person be attacking the same station for some time now and they haven't done anything about it? Then Michael says, legalizing gun for defense purposes. Are we ready for such a phase? Even our dignitaries in quotes. Hey, yes, so the next set of comments is also this one says, Mrs. Clement, Obiniem.
Oh, I'm calm.
Yes, thank you so much for sending in your comments. Keep them coming. Send your opinions and suggestions, but please do well to keep them tactful and decorous and demure, as Mimi says here.
Yeah, I have one more trending story to talk about. This one, we don't really need to deliberate on it. So Ghana is set to lose the international headquarters of the West African Examinations Council, WAEC, to Nigeria due to an outstanding debt of 73 million Ghana cedis. So this story is also trending, and a lot of people are scared of the fact that WAEC, our very own WAEC headquarters, which is around Rich, is likely to be handed over or passed or transferred to Nigeria, brother country or sister country.
Their fatherland.
And a lot of people are really scared looking at the number of companies or institutions that have left Ghana for the time being. And, it's raising concerns because, WAEC provides employment for a lot of Ghanaians, right?
And the government is owing WAEC. So this is what will happen.
Our own education. So I'm just asking, this incumbent government, whenever you interact with them, they are
always about education. So how come?
What have they been doing with the over 18,000 Ghana cedis, said they've given to every student? What's happening? Normal WAEC. So that's another trending story.
The online stories here. We have Baumia introduces electric buses, claiming a 40% decrease in transportation expenses.
Interesting days.
Interesting days.
Back to back.
So a step toward modernizing Ghana's public transportation system was taken on Wednesday, November 27, when the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, officially opened the nation's first fleet of electric buses called EVs. Now, starting this week, test operations will be conducted on the buses, and the idea behind this project is Dr. Bawumia's desire to reduce transportation costs by implementing electric vehicles. Albert Edubuahin, Managing Director of the Metro Mass Transit Limited, said that steps have been taken to guarantee efficient utilization of the electric buses for the inauguration on Wednesday, November 27. Routes including the Ashaiman Accra, Accra Amasaman, and Oyibi Accra roads would be served by the buses. It is anticipated that this program would result in a 40% reduction in the cost of public transportation.
Very commendable of our Vice President.
Is it?
Yes.
We are very, very happy about this initiative. as a country, yeah, stop looking at me like that. Let me land.
Land? How am I looking at you? I'm smiling.
So as a country, we welcome these electric buses. Electric buses. And me, I'm just happy about it because of the fact that we are shifting from the fuel system to, charging the electric systems of these buses, and also looking at how it's going to reduce transportation is something I'm also happy about. But my main concern is this is a social amenity and it is coming in to solve problems. And we were all in this country where we experienced drivers extorting money in terms of transportations from normal Trotsky,
road users.
road users. And we were complaining. Just from Accra to Amasaman, you pay close to 20 cedis. Yet we had Ayalolo buses, over 50 buses parked somewhere. Just a few were just, working. So are they saying they didn't see these buses, or it has been said somewhere or written somewhere that if you continue something that your predecessor did, you will die?
This thing you said, it even goes to the beginning. Kufuor buses, where are they? Have you seen any anymore? So it seems as though it is something that keeps happening. Your predecessor starts an initiative, instead of improving upon it, you abandon it. Where are those buses now? Probably rotting in some bush. Ayalolo too, also on the way to being abandoned. Now we have electric buses. And my problem with these electric buses is the fact that just 2 days ago, we were talking about our national grid.
Yeah.
Now these buses are running on electricity. And we barely have the ability to serve the country itself, electricity in our households and businesses. Now we have how many buses? I think 40.
10.
Oh, 10. Oh, I thought we were 40. Okay. Now we have 10 buses that are going to need to be charged. How often are they going to be charged? All of these things, how much power is it going to use to run? So if, let's say, this bus is going to run for 8 hours, how much power is it going to require in a day? Or even in that 8 hours, how long? So after the 8 hours, would that be all for the day? In the 24 hours, if it's running all 24 hours, how much power per hour is it going to use? These are all things we should think about, because yes, fuel is a problem, but electricity is a bigger problem.
So Yara, let me just say this, and they have operational framework actually, and this is going to be done by the MMTL, that's Metro Mass Transit Limited, in collaboration with the Greater Accra Passengers Greater Accra Passengers Transport Executive. They are going to be in charge of the charging. They have already made provision for charging. And currently they will be starting this exercise at Adenta. That's where they've stationed the buses. And we are expecting another 90 buses to come into the country.
They are all electric.
Electric.
So
because
we are going
the
to have 100
buses.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
And with the 100 buses, yes, you made mention of the fuel, you made mention of the Kufuor buses, the yellow buses. But let's look at the advantage between these two. My point of view. When you take electric bus, there is this issue of our emission and air pollution system in the country, of which Ghana is currently want to deal with it. And because of that, Ghana has a target for 2030, which says that they want to cut emission by 64 metric tons of carbon dioxide equivalency. And this is the process that they have started. And currently they talked about reducing transportation by 40 to 50%. Currently the cost or the transport fare from Accra to I think Adenta, yes, I let me get a fare. They said initially it was 12 cedis, but per the electric bus they are going to charge 8 cedis.
Accra to Adenta, no, it's not. It's not.
So let me get it right here.
It's 9.
They've
9 or 10.
All the prices are here. They release it out so that passengers will know that moving forward, there's the prices they are going to charge for the electric buses. And this is what they said. Okay, so Accra to Adenta is currently 6 cedis. Initially it was 12 cedis. Okay. So with the electric bus, they are going to charge 6 cedis. Accra to Ashaman was 16 cedis. Electric bus, they'll be charging 8 cedis. Accra to Amasaman is going to be they are going to charge 7 cedis for Accra to Amasaman, and OGB to Accra they are going to pay 8 Ghana cedis. So in terms of cost, that's the transport cost, it will reduce drastically by 50%. And another thing we all should come to understand that yes, before I make my point, I want the government to understand that we are paying emission levy. So if we are looking at introducing this electric buses, then we should look at how to eliminate this tax levy from our tax system or tax regime. And the next thing is, it's a good initiative, but maintenance culture is something we should look at.
Yes, even
maintenance culture.
Citizens have very poor maintenance culture.
Very poor maintenance culture. The electric bus is a good thing, as we said, but maintenance culture. You made mention of the miles is going to in a day. When you look at the electric bus, they are going to run for 40 to 80 miles in a day. That's the range they will be working. And also they have a route in the morning shifts, afternoon shifts and evening shifts. So they've put all these things in place, and they've also made Ghanaians understand that it's not only going to be stationed in Accra, but moving forward, other parts of the country is also going to experience these electric buses. But I'm so much concerned about the maintenance culture.
Clement, you've really made your points very clear and everything. But you see, my very, very keen concern is, do we really, make a list of priorities before embarking on them? Because
so Mimi, I think yes, they said they made a priority. They realized that the economy is very hard, and one aspect they realized,
buses are
one of the
top.
ways, because they said transportation cost is very high. And since transportation cost is very high, it makes standard of living very difficult. Because traveling alone is like, for now going to Takoradi, Accra to Takoradi is now 100 cedis. So if electric bus is coming and it's 50%, you are going to pay 50 cedis.
So are they going on long journeys or?
Oh yes,
okay,
yes.
I have a question for us. You've twisted your ankle. You are basically limping on it, and they buy you new shoe. Will you be able to still? Would it automatically make you? As much as the new shoe is beautiful, it can even help your posture and the rest. Your ankle is still sprained; it's not healed. Would that work?
Everything is possible in this country.
No, everything is possible. So IPPs are already dropping off the power grid and things, and now we are bringing extra things that are going to be relying on our.
We don't need electric buses now. To be very honest, we don't need electric buses. Let's improve on the ones we have and then use the money to do other things. Even the roads that these electric buses are going to,
even embark on. There are question marks on these roads.
But these governments have said they've constructed lots of roads.
But then the routes they are using for now, what's up?
There are lots of question marks about their prioritization and everything, and we really what's the kind of man at all so now I stop it.
But as a matter of fact, the batteries of the electric buses can last for 50 years.
They can.
And after
so
50
is
years,
it
recycled.
Is it that when you charge it, it will last 15 years?
No. Not charging.
Then please. But we commend for initiative, technology advancements, but we do not have. We honestly do not have the capacity for that. Very soon we will. Like you mentioned, these generators. We shouldn't be surprised if by the time we realize these bus drivers are complaining that now they have to buy diesel to pour in generator to charge the bus, else they can't. So we will go back to the fuel system if we don't take care.
That's why I asked for a list of priorities. You need to write them down. Sometimes you need to write. You don't need to just write. Point them.
Mimi, your point. They've written them down.
Please.
An electric bus is needed now.
It's needed now per their goal. And also dealing with the issue of climate change.
Look at the debt ECG is living in at the moment.
Okay.
Power supply.
Just Tuesday we came here, we were talking about this very same ECG issue.
I think today, let them keep quiet for today.
But I can't wait to experience the electric bus.
No, there's this bus system that has come, Smart Transit. They also use the electric bus, but I think it's a private thing. It's cool. It's just like the Ayalolo, but they don't overload like the Ayalolo, so it's very comfortable. Yeah, so the last story here says the police established a 20,000 Ghana cedis informant system ahead of the December polls. So the National Election Security Task Force has launched a financial reward program to motivate the public to report any potential security threats as the elections approach. Now, through this initiative, informants would be able to provide valuable information to the police or other security agencies and earn rewards between 1,000 Ghana cedis and 20,000 Ghana cedis. Reports can be made via the toll-free hotline 0800 311 311. And the Inspector General of the Police and the head of the National Election Security Task Force, Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare, announced the initiative during a meeting with the University Teachers Association of Ghana yesterday.
Ghana Police. I can really tell that they really have a lot of money. Like,
I mean,
they have money. They are very generous. Like,
Mimi, this no matter of they being generous. They are.
Yesterday I read a comment under this post and someone was like, "Oh, this is my cocoa season. Oh, the little free. I'll take a picture."
right.
But if they've established structures where you need to communicate to the police, you can't just wake up and communicate.
So
to them. They have structures.
In a situation like the La Paz issue where the police were, I said, normal lucky. If I call them that, Charlie, something's happening like this day. Can I even trust that they can? And will I get my 20,000?
Oh, yes. Since the IGP has come out to say we trust him, he would actually do as he has said. And you see, there's one way I think it's a good step for them to do, because motivating people you're working with, it makes them come out. They come out of themselves and they do the best, very best you want.
Are you sure they'll give out the best?
Yes, they'll give out the best.
But you know, Ghanaians, you give them an inch and they make it a whole yard. People will start misinforming, disinforming, and fabricating things because this is a way to make money.
But yeah,
even use their family member to go and cause commotion. Let me take a video.
But don't be surprised that you will just send information to the police service and they will just respond to it and give you the money. No, they'll go through the investigation, they'll pass through the process before they respond to you.
So if, let's say, it's something that requires immediate attention, are you going to go through investigation while maybe lives are at stake or something?
So the only thing is, if you call the police, I'm not the PR for the police, but let me speak from my point of view. If you report issue like this to the police will first respond to it by calling the nearby police station or whoever is there to quickly rush to the scene. But if they go and there's nobody there, the police officers, police, IGP, if you go and there's misinformation, there's nobody there, please deal with them. Yes, deal with them mercilessly, because this election is very critical, because the National Task Force met the EC, I think, on Monday, and they discussed issues like this. They also protect the Electoral Commission officers, and they are so ready for this election. So it's not time for jokes and cracking.
And I also want to raise this concern. I mean, when I saw the story, I asked myself, you know, EC has also restricted media coverage, some number of media coverage.
Because of our time, we will discuss that in the main discussion. So we have a comment, I think it's from Obiba. He says, Mimi's blood is hot this morning. Oh, Mimi, please relax, okay? The country will not kill you. Thank you so much for your comment. All too soon, the online and newspaper review has ended. Our time was up long ago, and my producer is probably angry with us. But we will pick this up again during the All Stars main discussion, where my co-host and some others will be here. We'll be discussing more issues in the country. Next is the lifestyle segment with Miriam Abnadidi and her guest, and they'll be discussing the evolution of blogging in a digital need to know what's happening, which teams are losing, and which players are being bought, which coaches are being sacked. And the business segment would also take us into the world of business, show us where we can put our money without any haircuts and things like that. Yes.
We also have some members of the HR committee passing through shortly
Okay.
during the lifestyle segment, and is the launch and maiden conference of the Human Resource Directors and Managers Association in Local Government Service.
Okay, so as Miriam said, right after this break, she'll be here with her guest for the blogging and of course the HR launching as well. So stay tuned.
Good morning. Welcome to the Business Update segment. I am Clement Yabankwe. Into our stories, starting with, the Ministry of Energy has assured the public that all issues hindering the full implementation of the cylinder recirculation model are being resolved through collaboration with key stakeholders. According to the Sector Minister, Herbert Crapper, the CRM, which allows consumers to exchange empty LPG cylinders for filled ones at designated vendor points, will be fully operational by 2025. Under this system, empty cylinders are sent to bottling plants, refilled and redistributed for consumer use. In our second story, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has commissioned a $100 million United States oil and gas service terminal at the Takoradi port. The project, which began in November 2022, was completed within 2 years. Financed by the government, with China Harbour Engineering Company as the contractor and GTYD7 as the project engineer. The terminal, a state-of-art shore-based logistics facility, includes berthing areas of offshore supply vessels and equipped waterfront land designated to support offshore oil and gas exploration and production activities. Speaking at the inauguration, President Akufo-Addo highlighted the terminal as a significant achievement that positions Ghana as a regional leader in the oil and gas sector. He emphasized that the facility will streamline offshore supply operations, boost heavy engineering and fabrication capabilities, and provide a wide range of services to the petroleum operation industry.
It's a pivotal gateway to these industries. It's been in the center of our strategic investments to retool and modernize its operation. The completion of the Takoradi Oil and Gas Services Terminal is a key milestone in these efforts. This facility will not only streamline offshore supply services, but also enhance heavy engineering and fabrication activities that are vital to petroleum exploration and drilling campaigns within our region. By offering a comprehensive suite of services, this terminal will strengthen Ghana's position as a competitive destination for oil and gas.
In our third story, Ghana has seen a significant decrease in surface rentals in the first half of 2024, despite a 55.6% rise in total petroleum receipts, which reached $840,765,266 United States dollars, compared to $544,456,124 United States dollar in 2023. Surface rentals totaled only $439,011 United States dollars, a 33% drop from the previous year, leading to $1.2 million United States dollars in arrears.
Limited and Springfield Exploration Limited have delayed payments due to financial difficulties and ongoing negotiations. The Public Interest and Accountability Committee emphasized the need for timely payments to sustain revenue and urged the Ghana Revenue Authority to enforce compliance and recover outstanding rentals. A misclassification of tax payments was also noted, but did not affect overall totals.
In our last story, the Bank of Ghana has launched the Ghana Good Coin as a new investment option for the public. Available from November 26, 2024, the coins come in 3 denominations: 1.0 OZ priced at 45,020 Ghana cedis 48 pesos, 0.50 OZ at 22,409 Ghana cedis 74 pesos, and 0.25 OZ at 11,188 Ghana cedis 12 pesos.
Determined by the previous day's London Bullion Market Association's gold rates and the Bloomberg USD to Ghana cedi exchange rate of 15.7500. This initiative is part of the domestic gold program aiming to absorb excess liquidity and strengthen the local currency. The Bank of Ghana seeks to enhance the country's financial offerings while stabilizing the economy and promoting investments in the economy and promoting.
That's all we have for you on Business Update segment. I am Clement Yabankwe. Do enjoy the rest of the show. for me.
interviewing you because I remember our days at ATL where you were a senior man, always in the studio, and we were just behind learning, and here we are today.
Oh yes, that's life for you. Sometimes you can't predict what will happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
So for me, it's an honor and a privilege as well. But I will be watching you. In fact, sometimes when I'm doing something, I just tune into Facebook, which I watch Facebook Live. Yes, and then I'll be watching my Miriam because I know you way back. Yes.
Prof.
Yes.
Now let's get straight into the conversation. Now we're talking about blogging.
Yes.
And also I know you're into YouTube.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, YouTube started first before the blogging, right?
Yes. I basically started YouTube before trying to, but as I said, the blogging has so many yeah. So for me, I'm focusing on blogging and vlogging.
Oh, okay.
There's a blogging. The blogging comes with the website and the Instagram and other thing, but we have vlogging. The vlogging has to do with the video, visuals, communication to other people. Yes. So I am more into the video visuals. Yeah.
So before someone went back on something, we usually know that there's always a motivation. There's an inspiration behind that. What was your inspiration?
For me, growing up in a very typical village, in fact, those who follow me, sometimes I say that I'm a village champion. I mean, yes, I was born in a place where there was no light. I mean, I think the first time I saw probably light was, I think, when I was 12 years. Yes. So just imagine being born in such a place where you have not even seen light before, and coming out of that place, it tells you that probably you have gone through a lot. So for me, I went to the bank. The first time my dad sent me to the bank, I had to become a bank manager. And at that tender age, I was bold enough to approach the branch manager at that time, Western North Region to be precise. And I asked him, I want to become work at the bank. He said, go and read business in secondary school and continue. And that is something that is in my head. So I went to secondary school. And then, in fact, those of you, me, everywhere I go, be say, let me use this word, be say, be my fault. Because I went to the best college in Ghana. You can argue with your schools, but I'm a college boy. That's at this other college, yes. I'm a Santa, so my circulation's watching me. A shout out to you. So, after at this school, I read business, and I went to the University of Cape Coast to also become accounting as well. Which means I wanted to continue on my journey to become an accountant, which probably I always call myself as a disappointed accountant, which very soon maybe I'll make sure that to rectify it. But then, and that's how. So YouTube or blogging probably wasn't part of my plan.
Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all. But then the interest of the media developed when I went to University of Cape Coast. I started in level 200 as a student volunteer on campus radio station, where I had the opportunity to meet you. And that's how the whole thing started. Blogging on YouTube wasn't part of the plan at all, but then in life anything can happen.
And you always have to make sure you make use of the opportunities that are available to you. Now I know when it comes to YouTube, it has to do with creating content about personalities here and there, and it is very, very demanding. Like your time, everything goes to that, and you're combining that with vlogging and also blogging. How are you able to transition from two?
It's not that easy, to be honest with you, and but then if you know what you want, and when you're doing something, there is a reward as well. There's an intrinsic motivation as well. I mean, you will try your best to make sure that you do everything, and it's not been easy, but I was trying my best to combine all of them, just to at least create content for my audience.
So how did you start? Let's start with the blogging. What was the start mark for you?
As I said, I started radio in level 200 from University of Cape Coast FM station, ATL FM. Before I continue, let me say thank you to ATL FM and manager Mr. Ntrikunadu and the entire staff of Campus Broadcasting Services for the opportunity. In fact, I remember our time, we were almost about 100. They received almost about 100 applications, so they picked 25. So fortunately for me, I was part of the 25. And the 25 have to through probation, and they'll see that if you have the radio talent in you, they can still work with you. So I started in level 200, And those of you who went to University of Cape Coast, you attest to the fact that probably the only department in University of Cape Coast very demanding. You cannot do any other extra activity. Become student.
Exactly.
Because 247 you should always be with your books. And of course, our time, if you don't get single number, you can't go to University of Cape to read, become accounting as well. So there's that. Yes.
In the world.
The responsibilities on your shoulder to do very well academically and also trying to add extra curriculum activity is something very demanding. So it wasn't part of my plan. I always wanted, as I said, I wanted to become an accountant. But then when I got to level 400, but whilst doing the radio in level 200, it's like my D, thinking that, oh, when I finish school, one thing that my school father, way back in I did school, he said school father, Mark Yochum, he's now in Staga, Shabu, he's now in Sunyani. He used to tell me is that you should always have a plan B. Yeah. In as much as you are focusing on your academic work, like what you want to become, you always have a plan B, something that will be skilled related where nobody can take it away from you. Yeah. So he even advised me that if I'm on campus, I should engage myself in other activities because he is a living testimony. Sure. Yes. So that's how I ended up being ETLFM.
Okay. Yeah. Now, the other time I saw a post, something you posted that you traveled to Nigeria to cover something. I don't know. It was a conference or something.
I was in Nigeria for Davido's wedding and Mr. Ibu's funeral.
Yes. And you said you spent a lot into getting just, a coverage of that posts. How challenging is this blogging?
It depends on the kind of content that you produce. And let me take this opportunity to educate a little bit on the content creation. We have people that sit at the comfort of their room, react to social media trends. Okay. They don't go out to create content themselves. Okay. We have people that want to go out and create content like Wendy Maya and those who traveled a lot just to create content. We have a lot of them. So you sometimes have to consider and look at your niche where people are interested in you create them for them. For me, I lost my YouTube channel when I left University of Cape Coast and when I left ATLFM to be precise, when I came to Accra. So I have to revive and re-strategize my plan as to how I'm going to get my audience to stick to my platform. Yeah. And then I realized that going for live events and going for programs is probably what my audience are interested in. So that's how. So during Moses Bless wedding here in Ghana, I was following them small, because it's a live event, people are interested to watch. Yeah. And that one thing that I've realized is that if you're able to tie into Nigerian market a little bit, you get audience that will love your content. Yeah. So, and that's how but before then, Mercy Chinwo performance at FA Grace live recording broke that record for me because and then I realized that I've got a Nigerian audience. So Moses also came in here. Then I said, okay, fine. Moses wedding, I think I had over 100,000 followers, views on my platform. Then if that's the case, why wouldn't I go to Nigeria most of the time to create content? I ended up going to Nigeria. Wow.
Now let's look at the challenges. I'm concerned because traveling to Nigeria and back just for a video.
Yes. Oh yes, the video is very challenging. It's very expensive, so because you have to book a flight. So flight, I didn't go by road. Flight, it costs a lot. In fact, I spent over 8 or 9K just for the fare ticket. Yeah. And talking about the hotel and eat. So yeah, it's very challenging.
So traveling to a country where you don't know anybody there. I mean, that is also, another challenge on its own. Or you knew someone there?
I didn't know anything. That was my first time.
Wow.
My first time. In fact, my first time going to Nigeria was Moses Bliss Homecoming. And I think that is my highest views of my YouTube, almost about 800,000 views. When I went to his hometown in Oyo, which means I have to book another flight. So when you get to Lagos, I have to book a flight from Lagos to Oyo. Yes. So that's where I went to cover his homecoming after his wedding because that's what people were interested in. And my second one is when I went there for Davido's wedding and then Mr. Ifuna. So Ifuna is the northern part of Nigeria and that place, no light. Yes, but then I went there to create content. And I can tell you that in Ghana here, only 2.
Okay.
It's only 2 that covered Mr. Ibu's funeral. Yeah.
Well, if you just joined us, this is the lifestyle segment here on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. I've been having a conversation with Isaac Dadzie, a blogger, and he's educating us on, the world of blogging and also YouTubing. And so if you are very interested, then you need to stick with us, because this conversation, it is an interesting one. I'm also learning something that I believe is going to really help me in my career as well. Now, let's talk about the strategies of getting audience. You made mention of the fact that how do I put it? You ditched your hand into the Nigeria to get some of their people to support your content. Let's come back to Ghana. How do you get people to follow your videos? Because I know there are so many bloggers out there. There are so many people into YouTube who post videos just like any other person. But what do you do so special that when I see Isaac Dazzie's video, I cannot pass by? Is it the captions? Is it, how you name the video? Is it the good quality? What exactly do you do?
Sometimes I'll be there, somebody just DM me, what camera do you use? What do you do for this or that? I ask them, so this is my normal phone, the phone you see over here. That's what I use mostly to shoot my content.
Wow.
And I believe in quality. So what I do is that, as I said, my audience, before you start YouTube or any digital platforms, you have to explore the available opportunities. So I was uploading every content, like social media trends, I was uploading every content. But when you upload the content, you see from your analytics that I think this video is going for me. It's not going. So it means that my audience are interested in this part of content. Then next time, let me produce for them. Then realize that you get a consistent, like very loyal subscribers who always stick to your content. For now, if we're talking about a musical content in Ghana, specifically gospel, go to my platform. You see all of them. Now, that is how I identified my niche. That is basically gospel events and live events, like high profile events where people will be interested to watch. That's how I identify my niche here.
And I can say it's really, really paying off, right?
Is starting something very, very difficult. And if I'm to tell you my struggles, probably you have to spend more than 2 to 3 hours to talk about this. At some point, I lost my YouTube channel for 8 months, getting to a year.
Wow.
And uploaded over, that is when I said I identify my niche. I uploaded over 1,200 videos, and I have to delete over 1,000 videos, leaving just 100 videos. And those 200 videos were interviews that I did on campus with campus relationship kind of content. Because at first I didn't know the rules of YouTube. So you make those mistakes from the beginning, and they will punish you. You come back, and that platform you see over there, there are so many restrictions. If you don't tell, you can't even make $1 from it. You have to read a lot. So those moments were the moments where I learned so many things from their platforms, just to abreast myself with their rules and regulations. No, I'm okay.
Yeah, okay. Now you've monetized your...
now even 2 years, they have not taken off again. So hoping that it will not happen. Yeah.
And it's paying off.
It is by God's grace.
Good accounts name.
Kakra. Small.
I'll take my dollar. Now, let's look at feedbacks from your audience or viewers. How do you take them? Are they always positive?
To be honest,
the negative
I always go to my comment section to read them. And I said, this kind of job, if you are not ready to embrace criticisms, I'm not sure you move forward. Sometimes, I think I did one content that one man called me, said, you are bigger than this, so go and pull it down. Then I did. Yes, because I always have to listen to, because they are consuming for me. But you cannot set, but you just have to look at the majority who are interested in your content to help you. So I get most feedbacks, positive ones, negative ones, those who are constructive criticisms. I receive everything to make sure that it will mold and then shape my content as well. Yeah. And
I know you also manage a very known figure. I cannot, we cannot have this conversation without talking about it, because it's also something that pushed you into the limelight. I'm talking about our very own Dan Kweku Yeboah. You manage his social media. How did you meet him? And how did it start?
So before, big up to my boss, Dan Kweku Yeboah. Boss, thank you very much. I will be grateful for the opportunity. Anyway, he came to University of Cape Coast for his master's. So, he was also at ATL FM as well. And then we were just sitting down like how you're having a nice session, and then it was time for me to produce sports, because at ATL FM, as I said, I was everything. So I was streaming, sports, presenting, DJing, everything. So while I was going, somebody shouted my name. Abeku Ochre is now on TV, and now on L1 TV. He mentioned my name, CEO, and then he said, this small boy, why are you calling him CEO? And he said, hey, he's a YouTuber. He started YouTube small. He said, then, I have a channel, but I'm not even.
Yeah.
And then this guy challenged him that he should give the account to me, and I will do it for him. And that's how we started the relationship.
And how has it been going?
It's been, as I said, God always uses people to bless other people, and for me,
he's been a blessing.
He has been a blessing. He will continue to be a blessing to me. I pray for long life for him because I always want to continue to keep him proud. Yeah.
And earlier you made mention of the fact that blogging is different from vlogging.
Yes.
And blogging has to do with a lot of writings, and vlogging is the videos.
Yeah.
And how are you able to fine-tune your words on your sites? Like, let's say you're talking about something, you are not supposed to just say anything about a program or a personality.
Yeah.
How are you able to, fine-tune your words? Do you use any technology or tool, anything?
I sometimes now AI has even come to support us, especially when you want to write caption or description that probably want to check your grammatical errors and everything. AI is there for you. Sometimes you can easily enter your keywords that you want. AI will give you a nice title to use, but then it depends on the content that you are creating. If I'm going to cover an event where I know that it's like the president coming to commission the flower pots overhead, I have to go and read about how the content was awarded. So when I'm giving a narration in my videos, I'll be able to educate my audience as well. So mostly you have to also read and so research as well. Yeah.
That's very, very interesting. We are trying to get our comments here, so we read them out. But I'm still talking to Isaac Dadzie, who is a renowned blogger and also a YouTuber. And so we are still learning. If you just joined us, this conversation is ongoing, and you can also watch us live on our YouTube and also Facebook platforms. And you can send your comments to the WhatsApp number, which is displayed on the screen right now, and we'll read all your questions out. Dadzie is here to answer all your questions, so we are waiting. Okay. Okay. Now let's talk about your most lowest moment, where you recorded a video and maybe it didn't trend. How did you feel like?
As I said,
and which video was that? If you could make reference.
This job, as I said, if you're not ready for disappointment, you can't. This TikTok guy, Amofek Tupac or so something. That guy who died in Kumasi. That was the time I was reviving my YouTube channel.
Okay. Travel
from here to Kumasi, some gate area B. While even the funerals ongoing, people are smoking, and you have to go through all that. Shot the video, uploaded the content, very nice one as well. Back to Accra, spent over 700 to 800 cedis, and I got to, I think almost about 25 views.
Wow.
I think I've even taken the video from my platform. Yes, 20. Then I'll just in my room. Sometimes I'll be crying. So why will I spend? Yeah. Oh. You see, traveling from here, the risk involved of traveling to Kumasi, and now shoot a nice content, come back, and then you don't see, people are not watching.
Yeah.
How will you feel? Feel very bad, but then it's part of it.
Yeah.
Yes, it has. Even I went back to Nigeria for another concert. I didn't know that concert would be streamed online. Plus, when they finish, they will just give the original copy to the artists that are coming from. So by the time leaving Nigeria, individual artists had already uploaded the content.
Wow. So,
but you see, as I said, you have evergreen content. Mine is evergreen content. It means you can watch a performance of Moses Bless 3-4 years ago on my platform. Today can still look relevant. But those videos that I did 3-4 months ago, just recently I've been saying that people are still watching the video. And at least by the time you'll be able to get at least for your tickets, you get it back here.
Wow. And one thing I've learned from what you just said is that everything happens for a reason. Also for our own good.
Yes.
It comes together to give us an experience in our journey. Now let me read some comments here. These are from Facebook. Okay, so Ghana Online TV says, "Love this boy." Okay, I can see individuals supporting their own. Ambi snaps Ghana Online TV. I'm also a blogger doing radio and real estate project. I get most of my inspiration to do blogging from Prof. Isaac.
Yeah, that's my friend. Yes, I know him. Yeah.
How do you inspire him?
Oh, mostly when we go out to create content, and you see, we have the platform is saturated. We have a lot of people on that platform.
Yeah.
So why will people watch your video and not watching others?
Yeah.
People, because of the cost of data, sometimes they want to export their video in 480p. Those technical terms, I'm sure if you're an IT guy or maybe a video person, you know. But they always have to be HD or I think 1080p or HD or 4K.
Yeah.
So when you are watching, to be clear, nice for you. But because that also consumes a lot of data, sometimes you export the video in 480 or 3p. When you are watching, the face look a little bit blurry. Yeah. Remember, you are competing with other people. Let your own stance out. And for me, my videos are over from either 1080p or 4K. So when you're watching it, very clear. I don't care about how much it costs me to upload the content. All I want is how the thing will look nice for my audience to watch.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so we also have this. HM Joe says, very educative and motivating. Thank you very much for bringing in your comment. You can still do that, though our time is almost up. We also have this. Hello, good morning. Cascade. My question is, per your composure, you are helpful. Do you have any desire for helping up-and-coming musicians?
I have seen a lot of musicians, and in fact, mostly I receive DMs from musicians who want to promote their platforms. You just have to reach out to me, and then we see how we can do that. Because I can post for you on my TikTok, on my Instagram page. But most of the musicians, they have already monetized their song. So before you do that, it's something you have to talk to them, and maybe they can remove the restrictions from it, so that you can also like revenue sharing kind of something, so that we can all do that together. So for me, my doors are always open to anyone who wants to reach out for support or something like that.
Don't forget Clock TV, okay? Promote us on your channel.
I will.
So we'll be wrapping up, Lee, but do you have any advice for upcoming bloggers, people looking up to you?
Oh yeah, so for me, I would say that one of the best way of also getting yourself out there is to take advantage of the social media and digital platforms. For me, I read accounting, but then I found myself in the social media and digital world. And I always been telling my dad, even if I should probably die and wake up and come back, I'll still continue to do this job. I respect each and everybody, beyond in a dream of a person, but this is this is my path, and this is what I want to do. But remember, nothing good comes easy. You always have to go. In fact, a gold goes through process. You have to go to refine to get the normal gold that you want. But if you're not ready to go through that mill, I'm sorry, you can't. And that platform can discourage you. It can break you down. But with consistency, support, in fact, the God factor is the most important thing. Don't forget, I don't know the kind of God that you serve, but I serve the Lord Jesus Christ. You know your God, I know my God. But what I can tell you is that if you want to take this path, just embrace yourself with disappointment from the beginning sometimes, and with consistency and perseverance, I know you can achieve it.
With consistency and perseverance, we know you can achieve all your goals. Thank you so much, Isaac, for this insightful conversation we just had with you.
All right, thank you very much. Before I move on, let me mention my social media platforms to those who are watching me. All right, so on Facebook, I have 3 Facebook pages.
Okay.
On Facebook, Dazi TV on Facebook, Smile for Mike on Facebook. I named that page after the school father who advised me to
have a
plan B. Yes. And I have MY Media on Facebook, which is very special page to me.
Which one should we follow?
All of them, MY Media, Dazi TV, Smile for Mike on YouTube and Facebook, MY Media on Facebook, Dazi Multimedia on Facebook. I'm also a Facebooker as well. There's a lot of money you can make on Facebook as well. Yeah, so I also do that. On TikTok at Dazi TV, on Snapchat at Dazi TV, all the platforms, Instagram, Dazi TV. Yeah.
Right, indeed, your journey is an inspiring and also proves that creativity and consistency are very key in transforming our lives, especially in this digital age. And thank you so much, Ike, for passing.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I am Miriam Abna Adede. Now, we'll be having some reps from the local Friday and also Saturday shortly, but before that, let's take some birthday celebrants here. Right back.
today was your birthday. I heard 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 today was your birthday.
Into our birthday celebrations for this morning. A happy belated birthday to our lovely mom, Felicia. It is our prayer that the good Lord will continue to uphold you with his righteous right hand and also make you a mother of many. We deeply love and care for you from your dear in-law, Mama Pat, and Mr. and Mrs. Prince Owusu of Achimota Alubushi. We also have this, a happy birthday to Bev. Cheers to your wishes and purposes of, God in your life. God bless you and increase you in every aspect of your life. Amen. A happy birthday to my sister from another mother. Grow in grace. May the protection of God fall upon your life and the life of your family. You are one in a billion, so special, so kind-hearted. Ever since I knew you, Sofu Mame, you will go far in Jesus' name. I love you with the love of God. Stay blessed. Happy birthday to Pastor James. Glorious birthday, Elder Tego of Kingdom Living Ministry. May the good Lord continue to bless you and your family. God bless you. Okay, so a happy birthday to my lovely husband, Mr. James Tego. God bless you for all you do for the boys and myself. You are an incredible man, and I'm happy I found you and stayed with you. I love you so much. This is from your wife, Esther Tegu. Okay, so happy birthday to the best big brother anyone could have, Dr. Ronald Awuno Williams. Thank you so much for all that you are to me, from doctoring to brothering to bombering. Your love, patience, kindness, and support are so deeply appreciated. God bless you immensely. I love you to the sun and back. This is from your biggest baby, Ira Awuno. Happy birthday to Ohima. This is from Jay. Wishing a happy birthday to my sunshine and friend, Ohima Ebeth Araba, DKM. The world is a brighter, better place with you in it. Enjoy your special day. And this is also from Collins, from John, actually, to Collins Yabwa. Happy birthday, brother. You deserve all the love and happiness that life has to offer. May this year be your best one yet, filled with unforgettable moments and cherished memories. Enjoy your day to the fullest. Happy birthday to Ohima Fresh of the University of Cape Coast. So hi, sweetheart. Happy birthday to my lovely husband, Mr. James Tego. God bless you for all you do for the boys and myself. You are an incredible man, and I'm so happy I found you and stayed with you. I love you so much. This is from your wife, Esther Tego. Thank you so much for bringing in your birthday messages here on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. It is always a pleasant moment to celebrate this, amazing day with you. Thank you so much. Right, just as I said earlier, we have some reps with us because this weekend marks a significant milestone in the local government service with the launch and maiden conference of the Human Resource Directors Association. Now, with the theme Optimizing Human Resource Efficiency for Improved Performance in the Local Government Service, this program promises to reshape how HR practitioners or HR practices drive development and service delivery. Joining us in the studio are some reps, just as I said earlier. They'll introduce themselves and we get straight into the conversation. It's just going to be a brief one. Hello, Ma.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so I'm fine. I remember you. You are the vice president for the association, right?
Interim vice.
Interim vice. Okay, yeah. Okay. Please, your name.
Eunice Ansejiro.
Okay. And Ma, please.
And my name is Vivian Nakumia, Mrs.
Mrs. Okay, please. Role or position.
Okay. I am the interim president of the association.
Yes. Okay. So why are you here this morning?
Okay, so thank you for the question and good morning once again to our cherished viewers. We are happy to be here. We are here this morning because tomorrow marks, like you said, a very significant moment in our lives as HRs of the local government service. Okay. We have realized the importance of coming together as an association, and we have worked so hard to bring it to fruition. Tomorrow, all human resource managers are converging in Accra from every nook and cranny of the country for this lunch. Very, very important indeed to us. And we are here because this is CLOSAC, and this is our mother association. And so why not come here and then advertise this very important event so that everybody would be able to know exactly what we stand for, and whatever support that we may need will be giving us also. Yeah.
Now let me come to you, Ma. What even inspired the creation of this, association? Because the other time when we were talking to you, you made mention of the fact that HR is an important aspect of every organization, but less is just being said about it. What inspired this association?
Thank you very much, and good morning to our viewers. The inspiration is simple. Local government is one of those few public service organizations which have HR as part of its structure. We have people performing HR duties, but they are not HR. So it looks as though anyone can do the job. But just as it is, HR is a full-fledged profession, just as accountant, medicine and the likes, and you need to abreast yourself with the standards to be able to keep up with the new trends. And so the inspiration is that we must come to one platform where every member is able to catch up with the trends that are in vogue, so you don't fall out. Because when the institutions that are involved in regulating HR practice come on board, we know some of our colleagues may be found wanting. So this provide a fine opportunity, such that as I am here in Accra, whatever I know, my colleague in Kassena Ankana will right away know it. Modern social media and technology has provided us the opportunity to share knowledge. But can you imagine that I am here? I may not know maybe 90% of my colleagues, but they exist. So the need has arisen for all of us to see eye to eye from tomorrow. And so when I'm speaking with you, I wouldn't just be imagining faces. I'll put your face to whatever that I am, whoever I am talking to. We've been talking on phones, we are on WhatsApp platforms, but we haven't met each other before, except those closely around us. So it's one of the greatest inspiration for us, platform to see each other, exchange ideas, and then also socialize more.
Let me come to you, Madam Vivian. So where is this event taking place, and who is expected to attend? Or who are expected to attend?
Okay, the event is taking place at the City Conference Center at Legon. And all, like I said, all human resource managers across the country
are attending. But most of all, we are happy to also say that we have some dignitaries also coming in. Definitely our head of service, Engineer Dr. Nana Atuata, will be there.
Okay, so are they on the flyer we are seeing on the screen?
Yes, they are.
Oh, okay.
Yes, our able head of service will be there.
Okay.
And then we also have Madam Stella I. Ajenim Boateng, who is the Vice Chair of the Public Services Commission, also as a keynote speaker, who is also going to grace the occasion. We also have Mr. Can you help me?
Yeah, Dr. Francis Eduku.
Okay.
Yes, he is the CEO of Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management.
Okay.
And in fact, the body that regulates HR practice.
Profession.
Yes.
Okay.
So he is also going to be there.
Okay. So there you have it. That is the flyer of the launch and the maiden edition of this event on your screen. And so you can have a look at, the guests we will be having to grace the occasion on that day.
Let me chip in here. Okay. We also have our Chief Director in the person of Mrs. Felicia Dapa Ajimambuachi. She's supposed to be there, but as you are aware, she's out of the region. But we are expecting that she'll be able to join us when she.
Okay. So could you walk us through some of the key activities we are expected to have?
Yes. So tomorrow is going to be a blend of learning and fun. Okay. We will be having the lunch in itself. That will be handled by the head of service.
Okay.
And then the keynote address. But this time we don't want a keynote address where somebody will just come in, talk big and then leave. To be lucky to have a C-class HR like Madam Stella Ajenim Boateng, who is one of the globally recognized HR in our country. We must have the best of her. So after her keynote address is going to be an interactive engagement blend with cultural displays. So the whole day is just going to be interactions, culture, entertainment for tomorrow. Then the next day we'll have Dr. Edward Kwapong. Everybody in this country who knows HR issues should know about Dr. Edward Kwapong. He's the immediate past president of the Governing Council of the Institute of Human Resource Management, Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, the former CEO of Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, the former General Manager HR of GCB, and the current CEO of HR Perspective. What else can you ask for? So we are not just bringing people to come and have conversation. People who have had and walked through the experiences through HR. So when you are there, you cannot miss anything than learn and go home, as well as having the opportunity to meet them.
Yes. Right. We'll be wrapping up shortly, but Madam Vivian, could you please briefly tell us some of the challenges that HR, practitioners face in this country and the need for, them to attend this event?
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, in the local government service, it's a very well-structured organization. And like my colleague said, HR forms part of the structure. However, the HR profession itself has not come of age. Hitherto, as you remember, we had these personnel officers whose jobs were just to organize funerals and so on and so forth. Now we have a defined profession as HR. And change, you also agree with me that people are slow in adapting to change. So we realize that at our various offices, the recognition of the HR profession or the HR officers itself, has become a challenge. people do not think that their work is very, very important, as far as the service is concerned. And this is very, very challenging to us because it has failed us to strategize ourselves, into the mainstream of affairs. And so that is why we want to create the awareness and to sensitize everybody so that they accept our position rightly as HRs.
Madam, please, let's take your last words, your takeaways to our viewers, or their takeaways from you in relation to the program, very briefly, like in a minute.
So the time has come. HR is here to stay, and we are here to contribute to the growth and the efficiency, effectiveness of the service. If the local government service is doing well, it means the country is doing well. And we all are part of the HR system, and we must all collaborate and make it work. I wish everybody well, especially our colleagues who are traveling from far. Safe journey. We will meet tomorrow in good health, and then whatever is there, we will learn and have whatever fun too that is there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And of course, Clock TV will be, making our ways there to bring you all the coverage you need on the program. Very, very important program, and so you need to make sure you are a part of this. We had this conversation with Mrs. Vivian Akumia, who is the Director Human Resource Management at the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council, interim chairperson of the Planning Committee, and interim president of the HRPLGS -G. Okay. And we also have Mrs. Unisena Cedro.
Yes.
Okay. Interim vice chairperson of the Planning Committee, and they are reps from the HR Association. They came here to HR Practitioners Association of the Local Government Service Ghana. They came here to create an awareness of their upcoming program. Thank you so much, madams.
Thank you for having us.
Right. Now, up next, we'll be bringing you some sports updates. Stay with us. And of course, you're welcome back to the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. I am Miriam Abnadede, and Nanaya Asari has handed over to me to take over the sports updates this morning, and so I'm stepping in for him. Now, we are bringing you some sports news this morning. In our first story, Turkish Super League giants Galatasaray SK are reportedly eyeing Ghanaian international winger Ernest Newman with an official bid expected in the upcoming transfer window. The 21-year-old, who nearly joined Fulham in the English Premier League last summer, is likely to be sold by his current club, Olympique Lyon, due to ongoing financial difficulties this season. According to Turkish news outlet Sports X, Galatasaray has renewed their interest in the former FC Northland player and is preparing to offer 10 million euros for his transfer in the winter window. Now, coming back to our local story, former Asante Kotoko and Ashanti Gold SC right back Atakusi has expressed regret over his football career in Ghana. Now, citing financial difficulties and a lack of insurance, he encourages young players to pursue opportunities abroad instead. The topic of player salaries in Ghana has been a long-standing issue, with many voices in the football community weighing in. Some have even proposed introducing a salary cap to better protect the welfare of Ghanaian footballers. Now, into some other stories. The La Masia graduate who made his debut at just 15 years old was the front runner for the award, which the Italian newspaper confirmed he won on Wednesday afternoon. Now, Lamine will receive his award at a special gala on December 16. This achievement comes on heels of the Copa Trophy win for the best young male player under 21 at the Ballon d'Or ceremony in late October. While the Copa Trophy is determined by former Ballon d'Or winners, the Golden Boy Award is decided by sports journalists and honors the best under-21 player in Europe's top league. Now, let's have some UEFA Champions League highlights or results on the screen. Okay, so Wednesday, match day, which was yesterday, and Tuesday, we have the scores on your screen. Okay, so I'm trying to get some of the names right. Okay. So we have Stormgrass in a one win against Girona. Girona, and Aston Villa in a 0-0 with Juventus. Bolanga in a 1 loss. So my producer says I stop mentioning the names. Okay, so let's move to the standings this morning. Okay, so this is the standings for the UEFA Champions League, which happened. Okay, so in the first 5, we have Liverpool with 15 points, Inter Milan 13, Barcelona 12, Dortmund with 12, Atlanta with 11, Leverkusen with 10, Arsenal with 10, and also Monaco with 10. And you're welcome back. I guess I tried, right? So this is a sign that we missed Nana Yawasari on the show. Nana, hurry up and come back and take over. This is where we end the sports segment here on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. I am Miriam Abna Adede. Up next is our main segment with Yaira Awuno and her guests as they discuss the trends in the elections. You know, we have just 10 days into the polls, and so you need to stick with us because we are bringing you important reviews on elections 2024.
people would not just wake up one day and say they will not vote.
Yeah.
It's due to a situation that will make one not to vote. Notwithstanding, it is your right to vote. But you see, people have voted, or they've been voting since 1992, and they expect certain changes in their life. They expect to see new things happening around them. But Tiara, it's burdensome that things like this are not happening. So now it draws back on them that why should I go queue again and cast my vote? And at the end of the day, what I want, the change I want is not coming. You see, this is the whole situation that voters are trying not to exercise their civil rights. But notwithstanding, we want to encourage them that they should forget about the past and they should go out in their numbers on 7th December to vote. As you said, when you remain silent, there's a saying that, yes, there is one funny saying that if the wise decide not to vote, the foolish ones will go and choose, sorry to say, a foolish president who will then rule over both the wise and the fool. Yes, so we should just take this one.
And
okay, so I think to with what my brother is saying, to some extent I may agree with him. But then the whole issue is, you see, life is progressive, and in our part of the world we are just like coming from a hole and then climbing up. So definitely it will take some time to get the kind of development we expect. We are coming from a stage. Sometimes we make mistake. We compare ourselves as developing country to the developed country. Some of them, they have actually been in, they've practiced what we are practicing now for over 200 years. When you choose America, that we normally compare ourselves to, their democracy is over 200 years. And so definitely, if we are doing that, or you are voting based on development, it is a system, or it is progressive. We cannot be like America in our 60 years of after independence. You get it? And so, of course, we may want to develop, but then our comparison is sometimes not realistic. So as a country, I believe, look at where we've come from. And Ghana 20 years ago isn't the Ghana we have today. The Ghana 15 years ago isn't the Ghana. Even look at the infrastructure development from successive government. Everyone will come and add something. But then we should not, sometimes we should lower our expectations a bit. And equally, in terms of things that we personally, even in our personal lives, we don't get all the things we want one time. And our democracy we are practicing today is, we have 4 years. We have, I mean, if you get a chance, you even go 8 years. You get it. So no government can come and solve all our problems at a time. So it takes time, and we must acknowledge that fact that Ghana, we had years back. We have progressed. Look at our policies, successive government policies, NDC, NPP. They are, I mean, we are all trying to do well. And so, yes, we may want to be like America. We may want to be like Canada. We may want to be like UK. But then we have to go through certain stage of our development to be able to get there. Certain stage of our democracy to be able to get there. You get it? That is what I believe.
Yes, I understand, but to an extent, I disagree with you. Because if we gained independence since 1957.
Yes.
More than 60 years now. And as you said, we can't compare ourselves to America, I understand. But some African countries, or some countries who gain independence even after Ghana, are developing, are doing better in the economy than we do.
Name them.
So I'm coming. So if today let's take it cool. So if you are, we are talking about the Ghana we want to have. We are talking about progressive things of the government. We know way back in 1957, before independence, our first president did a lot of things that, if we are talking about progressive, successive governments to come and continue. But the Ghana we have today is not like that. A comes and does his part. When he leaves, B comes and does a different thing. Because when you look at the kind of system that Kwame Nkrumah put in place for Ghana. And
that's what we're running on.
Yes, if we should run on that pattern, like we wouldn't be here today.
You know, to add to what you're even saying, I think I saw a small think piece by somebody on the internet that even in Singapore, Singaporeans actually consulted with our very own Kwame Nkrumah.
Yeah.
And I mean, if they consulted with the president, the first president of this country, and where they are in every aspect of their governance, their country, everything, compared to us, it is, I want to say it's shameful that about where we are now. You know, but of course, a lot of people, I mean, even after the death of Nkrumah, we had a lot of his counterparts saying that they really regret not, you know, pushing him, you know, not supporting his ideals because he was a man ahead of his time. That was one of the very key quotes a lot of people used to use. And like you're saying, a lot of the things he put in place are what we're running on today. And honestly speaking, I don't think that our successive governments have really done much to improve upon the systems he put in place for us, because if they did, Ghana should have been...
Ghana shouldn't be Ghana now.
You know, and you see the US that you are mentioning, there are some theories that it's even a failed democracy. So of course, US is not the yardstick. Yes. We have theories on democracy, the ideal kinds of democracy, and that's why we are even about to discuss elections, because it is one of the foundational tenets of democracy. And you know, the voting should be free and fair. Hey, this is taking me back to school. Press freedom, media freedom, all of that, even freedoms of the rights and the people should be upheld and everything like that. So, I mean, there are lots of angles to this.
I want to say something. You see, sometimes I seem to blame a bit of our forefathers. Even though we have to take responsibility today, Nkrumah was a wonderful man, a very visionary person. Nkrumah did so well towards our development up to this stage. And if you realize, most of the things we are even currently enjoying were things initiated by Nkrumah. But I have the view that Nkrumah at a point did not help Ghana in a extent. To an extent, because you see, Nkrumah's government was built around him.
I mean, even our constitution now seems to be it's just around the president, and so many powers given to the president. So it seems it's an African thing. I'm sure
it's a problem because he had a chance to mold a national development agenda for us. We don't have it. And we didn't have it. Everything at that time, if you read the history into details, you realize that Nkrumah was so good, had a vision, but the vision was carried with him alone.
Yes.
It wasn't carried as a country where we had an agenda to be able to move with it. And that has been the challenge here we have. And you can see successively, we are actually towing the same line. And so when we come to complain about our development issue, it is not maybe Mahama or maybe Akufo-Addo who probably is having a challenge now, because there has been a kind of backlog from 60 years.
Yes, and of course, we are not saying that Nkrumah was perfect and everything, but I think that
before that, I want to say something. Let me land with regards to Singapore, and even currently. Let me use Singapore. Singapore had a national agenda.
Okay.
You get it? And their democracy they are practicing currently is not as the democracy we are practicing. And so when you have a national agenda where you come as a party, but then you all have a vision as that this is an agenda you are pursuing. Even though you may have an idea, but then this is a national idea we are pursuing. Before you touch your idea or any idea you have as a president, it must synchronized with the agenda of the nation. And that is what they have come up to. But we as a country, we do not have that.
Yes, and I totally understand what you're saying. And you see, like I was saying, Nkrumah, we are not saying he's perfect. Like, we all know that his ideals and the things he had, his vision, was not supported by a lot of people around him because
he didn't open up himself.
He was too futuristic. They thought it was impossible because, I mean, if you watch the interviews of his counterparts later, years on, you realize that they keep saying, oh, you know, we should have supported him and things. So it makes sense to have that built around him, he himself and things like that. And even when we switched, when Ghana, you know, officially switched into a democracy, the constitution, the way it was put together, you could see that a lot was being done to protect the president. And we are suffering from that now because so many powers given to one person and then it's undermining the democracy. Now, with Singapore, the democracy is just the system of governance. Yes. So how the country is ruled may vary. How people practice their democracies. There are some countries that claim they are democracy, but the ballot boxes are not transparent.
Of course,
The elections will happen. What the outcome, we don't care. We say we are a democracy.
Even in US, not everyone have the right to vote.
Exactly. So you realize that the point I was making with a comparison to Singapore was that the way they took up initiatives for the welfare of the citizens was what the think piece I read was comparing that I agreed to. Fine, their democracy and ours, even ours, is a little flawed. It does not mean that we are practicing the same thing, but in the end, what is the output to the citizens? That is where the problem is, because if, like we were all saying, the systems Nkrumah initiated for us are what we are running on. And if they were improved, Ghana should have gone far ahead. Now, Singapore consulted him, and now they too, they are far ahead because they followed some of the, maybe they took into account his, you know, consultancy that he did with them. And then they've gone forward. We can even see that there were some people that agreed with him, but not that many till he died or till he was, you know, what was the word, impeached. Or, the coup.
His governance was actually centered around him himself.
So, like,
and there were no well-structured system.
Yes, this is also because being the first president coming to start something like this, Ghana had been colonized for a long time, so he had to run with whatever he had learned, whatever he thinks he knows at the time, and things like that.
If we should go back to history, of which today is not the main reason why we are here. Yes, so I just want us to stick to what we are going to do, because if you are going back to history, you get to understand that Nkrumah's vision, assuming if I have a vision and you don't believe in my vision, what do? I move on the tangent because you don't believe my vision. So today we don't want to talk about history.
Like-minded people.
Exactly.
Let's just so our very first angle is about the happenings in the EC at the moment. And one of the things that I have seen that's a little alarming for me was the restriction of media. That only some TV stations and radio stations will be given access, which is quite alarming. And if we can shed some light on that, because I don't think I saw anything about a specific reason why that is happening.
Let me take that story up. So it's very alarming. I might say the Electoral Commission needs to come back and thanks be to God that they've reconsidered their decision and they've released a new press that yes, they are going to consult the National Media Commission and the GJA. At the end of the day, they'll come out with a final statement to the media. But my first issue was, EC, you should have done that. I always have
that should have been done long ago.
Yes, I always have issues because you don't bring something out and now people are talking about that. That is when you run back and you come tell us. Because the press they brought out, seriously, it's so bad. I would say emphatically, because if you are telling a whole media in Ghana over 50 plus and you are restricting them, you are giving access to TV stations only two in constituencies. You say you have 8 media houses who are supposed to be there, and out of the 8, you give TV stations 3 rep to TV stations. So assuming Clock TV is 1, the other two, who are they? That is one.
And how many people are even catching Clock TV or catching all these other channels?
And the 3 TV stations, 2 each, but you give FM stations 5 slots to media house of F stations for constituency level. When you go to regional level, TV stations is having 5 slots, and the FM is having 7 slots. My concern is, what criteria are they going to use to select the media houses?
That is also a very big question.
That is my point. 2, when EC comes and says that, oh, I've given accreditation to Clock TV, and Clock TV is supposed to go cover the information from the coalition centers of the constituency and the regional level. What information are you communicating to the Ghanaians about the rest of the media house? Are you trying to tell them they are not credible? Are you trying to tell them that they don't have the capacity? Are you trying to disadvantage those media houses? So all these are things issues should look at. The reason they brought out was that they want the place is not spacious, and this over the years they've been overcrowding the place. How can EC tell us that? You want transparency in election, and you're not giving the media access to that, and you call it transparency,
right?
So when we do that, it's not transparency. Since 1992, we've never experienced a situation like this. Always full access is given to the media houses. So what has now changed? What has now changed? Nothing. And as I said, when you go online and we read some of the comments, you'll be surprised that many people are really on EC. They are on EC
because they have to.
Because how would Ghanaians know that what you are telling us is free and fair? Let the media houses be there. If you think the places are overcrowded, give them a spacious place. Let them be there.
Yes.
And Yara, let me say this on happenings on EC again. You see, some civil society organizations, we spoke with, I think, Abid Sani, that was last week.
I was
on
even
some
going
of
to talk
them,
about,
some of them not giving accreditation. And now we have a group of civil society organization, they known as the Keep It On. They are making a point that they've experienced shutdown of internet over the years in some of the African countries like Senegal during their elections. So they have released information to the president, Mr. President, that please, during the election day, we shouldn't have interrupted internet. Because how will we get internet?
How will we get information
it's internet.
Across
and
the
now
country?
AC is trying to tell us that they are also going to use electronically to collate national results, regional results, and all these things. So we are pleading with them that we don't want any interruption in the internet access, so that those of the media houses that EC is saying they are not going to give them accreditation can access the portals that we need. So these are the few things I'll talk about this issue.
And you see, just as you mentioned Adib Sani's issue, I think that was last week. Yes, last week when we spoke with him on phone, and then he was saying that they were denied, and he read out the letter. He even forwarded it to us, and there was no reason given. So EC being an autonomous body and a body that is supposed to also be very, very non-partisan, impartial, coming out to do certain things like this may make them not look as though they are autonomous or, impartial. Because if, as our boss, Mr. Sifas always says, the why principle, if you are not giving us the accreditation or you're not giving us access, give us a reason. Because nothing happens without a reason. Like they say, there's no smoke without fire. So if these CSOs, ABC, are not going to be given accreditation or access to, the coalition centers or information about the elections, what is the reason? Is it because for now, the EC has to really be careful in their dealings and in their press statements and coming out to certain decisions. Because as you've come out like this, I did not see any reason. The media houses, why not? Why not give them this information? Because there are even some FM stations or even TV stations that are not accessible in some areas. Some are, So if a select few are given this, there are going to be certain areas in the country that are not going to have access to information, which is very wrong, which is very bad. How can you be sitting, going to cast my ballot, and I do not know whether my visionary, whoever I'm voting for, is winning or not?
Let's say one thing before I think Mr. Frifel comes in. EC says that for accreditation to police station, you give access to all media houses. But for coalition centers, no. I have a question with EC. I have a question for EC. Why would you allow someone to start class 1 and you not allow the person to complete JHS? Why do you want to leave us in the middle? Why do we start swimming along the line? You say we should stop swimming and go sit back. Then don't give access at all for us to go to the police station. That is my point. So I think, Mr. FIFA.
Okay, so
EC chairman.
So I would say, to some extent, I'm doing two things here. I will first of all commend the EC for so many innovative stuff they have actually done towards these elections. You can see from all their preparation, they have gotten a lot of people involved. They have consistently updated and given information out. They have equally met and then met with the IPAC on a number of occasions where whatever suggestions that have come, they have actually implemented them. The other aspect also, I think the EC have also done so well. For the first time, they have even gone beyond what the constitutional requirement is by giving the voter register or provisional register ahead of time per what the constitution even requires.
Okay.
It was maybe like a month, but a month before per the constitution. But then they have even given almost 2 months prior to elections for transparency purpose. And they have actually engaged the media, engaged the police, engaged the public on several occasions where they have sometimes even briefings to the public, which is very commendable. I'm actually, after all these successes they have chopped, where for the first time, I don't see people even accusing the EC so much of rigging. That this rigging, we are suspecting that for the first time in the history of our democracy, we've not seen political parties directly saying, EC, we know we are going to rig. But then channeling rigging allegations to parties and people who probably do not so much have the powers to make that happen. But then I'm actually, after all these successes, I'm surprised why EC have to make this flawed in terms of giving access to the media. We've come a long way as a country. And you have given us so much information. And at the very end of all your successes, why do you now restrict media? You get it? So that, for me, EC did not, even now that they are going to have that consultation, or they are going to have that stakeholder engagement, that should have been done long before. You shouldn't create room for speculations. You shouldn't create rooms for this flood, because you've actually opened up from beginning of your preparation over the year. I mean, over 2 years, they have updated consistently. So why do you then bring or open doubts for people to, I mean, you ride on that to backlash you? But then I believe it's good to the extent that now they have, the reason they gave was that they didn't want the place to be crowded. They didn't want, I mean, that is not, you see, democracy comes with its own consequences. You may not want people, but then so far as we are talking about transparency, and even look at our media landscape now. Yes, politicians and everybody have interest. So in order not to create the doubt and unnecessary noise and agitation, open up, because already you have done all things possible to let us know that you have nothing to hide.
And you know, with the media too, the media is the only body that can hold literally any organization, any institution accountable. If, as Clock TV being a media house, if something is going on, being a subsidiary of the Civil and Local Government Staff Association, if something is going on in the civil service, and then we come out to bring this to bear, then we are able to hold whatever leaders or management accountable. We put this out there. So if, let's say, Randolph being our boss, some backdoor, maybe some money is coming, he's sitting on it, we catch him, bring it out, we know that, hey, now we can put Randolph out there and crucify. Why are you sitting on Yaira's money that you know she deserves? And this is the role the media plays in the country. And if the EC is coming out to do this, it is very worrying. And like you are commending them for the fact that they were able to bring the the voters register way earlier than even the constitutional requirements, how come they didn't do their homework about the credible media houses in that time? So that if by now they come out that, okay, media house ABC, like the way we learned from the report summit, we learned that, okay, sometimes you need to name and shame. So maybe there are some media houses that are known for misinformation and disinformation, or there are some media houses being owned by specific people tend to skew the news in a certain light or a certain angle. If they come out and then they come and give us that, okay, media house ABC owned by Clement Yabankwe, being the flag bearer for party AQP is so and so. So we don't want to, work with them because they may try to twist the information. If you come out with news like that, as opposed to this, it's even more satisfying to us that, okay, yes, these media houses are not credible, so we will not even pay attention to them. They are not even getting access to the elections. Then that is fine. But this one, it is very, very strange.
In fact, let me add this. You see that media have played so many vital roles in our Fourth Republic. For us to get this far as a country, for us to be able to, in fact, our democracy, for it to be grown up to this stage, and even to be able to, as a country, remain united, the media in Ghana have done tremendous work. Look at education. At first, people used to have perception about all kind of stuff. But then there are various talk show programs, there's various educational programs which is informing and educating the people. Which means you, the EC, if there are anything or there are other stuff that you think are going to be wrong with the media, you address it just as you said. Mention and or restrict people who do you think they are not credible enough to give or are going to give bad information out. And there are laws that deals with it. But then you really have no right.
Yes, exactly.
Has no right to restrict anybody.
That's true.
You get it? So
without basis.
I mean, of course, without basis, EC has no right to resist any media house or media organization from assessing whatever information. What the people need, you see, when you give rooms for, when there is no information, there are perceptions, there are agitations, and we don't hope to have this at this stage of our democracy.
Especially
so the EC should open up, give media accreditation and access for information. Was if media A, B, C, D have the information, nobody can, they cannot twist it. Well, if I was there to report, and you are there to report, and another person is also there to report, and I'm not sure, at least if 3 people are there, 2 people can give accurate reports.
Exactly.
You get it?
That's true.
And one person will be exposed. So the media must be given access to every aspect for easy flow of information to prevent any doubt. But this election must be very free and fair.
And
in
transparent.
Fact, for transparency, we'll get there. Because as part of it, it must be transparent, and in the sense that the transparency, there are people there. Parties have agents.
Clog TV. Beyond the policy.
read them aloud for you. And I'm sure the phone lines will be open. So if you have any to share, you can call and then share. So when the phone lines are open, I'll announce that, and then the number would also be displayed. So you can call. Please, I implore you, I get it that the things in the country are very terrible, but please keep your submissions very tactful, very demure, and very decorous, else we would have to cut you. So yes, now there's balance. My people, yes, we were talking about the EC, and during the break we said we will speak about the parliamentary issues. That was what is on your heart, Clement. So take us away.
Yeah, so that we all know happenings in Parliament. Currently, the majority leader, Honorable Afenyomarkin, is calling for a recall that parliamentarians should come back and deal with about close to 22 businesses, government businesses, within 2 days. That is today and tomorrow. So this statement got to the Speaker of Parliament on Friday, and Speaker of Parliament has also responded. That was 26th November, and it's the statement, let me just read a short part. He says that if Honorable Afenyomarkin has forgotten, according to parliamentary calendar, Parliament is supposed to be on a break or recess. It should have taken place from on the 5th of November, to currently what we have, that is on the January 4th. So that should have been the whole issue. But because of the issue that surrounded parliamentary sitting, all this government business did not really come there. So he was using that opportunity to recall back Parliament so that they can look at the issue as soon as possible. But Speaker of Parliament also made it known to the general public that this time parliamentarians are actually campaigning, and they are giving out their manifesto to their citizens or their constituents so that they can give them the second term or another opportunity to serve them in Parliament. So it's impossible for him to recall Parliament today and tomorrow. But what he would do is, after the 7th December election, they would get time and recall Parliament to have sitting on this government business that Honorable Afenyomarkin actually raised.
So after the elections, when whatever happens, however the outcome, whether it's a new government, supposing it's a new government, this same Parliament will sit for how long, and how long are they going to sit before it's closed and then a new Parliament is ushered in?
Okay. To answer your question, I think this whole brouhaha surrounds the 4 vacant seat issue, delayed proceedings in Parliament that has brought us to this state. So going back, I will just say that Honorable Afenyomarkin and his people should have taken into consideration these issues before taking the Speaker's issue to a different arm of government, because if we settled everything within Parliament as a team, I don't think we would have gotten to this point. And I'm so happy about the strict measures the Speaker of Parliament is taking on his duties as a Speaker of Parliament. He's ensuring that parliamentarians are campaigning, they are out of Parliament, they are doing their job. They need to campaign because this is their time to tell the people what they've done, to show their faces to their people. And so you asking that they come back and sit and talk on issues, about 22 issues, that pending issues we have in Parliament, because you in a way delayed this process because you sent our matter to a different arm of government.
So maybe he has seen the error of his ways, and these issues are also very important and very
I think
pressing.
the best thing he can do is to apologize to the Speaker of Parliament.
The citizens
because in his statement, please, in his statements to Speaker, you could see that he was so humble in his memo, what he wrote to the Speaker, but notwithstanding, far beyond that, even if he should apologize this time, this is not the right time for parliamentarians to come back to Parliament, because We barely have few days to election. How do you expect a member of parliament in wherever he is to travel all the way, come back to parliament, and also certain you have to drive back, of which we know that on Monday is special voting. So what time frame is he going to get for him to do whatever he's supposed to do? Notwithstanding, Yaira, they are talking about government business, about 20 of them, 22 government businesses. We know how parliamentary procedures actually go on. How do you expect these people to actually deal with this 22 government within 2 days? It's possible. It's quite impossible.
But then these 22 businesses can be because by November the budget for the next year should have been drawn. Has that happened? Do we know how much spending we are allocating for spending in the next year?
I think that will be done after the election.
Usually it is done in November.
You see, let me come in briefly. It's unfortunate that our democracy is being played this way, and especially our three organs of government, which the legislative, the executive, and then the judiciary are unable to, we are unable to manage them at this stage. When we were actually thinking that a hind parliament will rather solve our problem as a nation, but it rather has implicated so much and have caused more harm and damage to our democracy this time than we actually thought. So which means the High Parliament hasn't helped us. This is because we have politicized every bit of what we are doing now. And it's affecting not the Speaker of Parliament, it's affecting the population. Look at how Parliament is being managed now. My challenge with the Speaker is that there are things that he should have gone so neutral. Well, he had the opportunity. He has the trust of the people. But how Speaker has equally managed some parts of parliamentary business, it is purely being so much of political than as it's supposed to be. We shouldn't have gotten to where we are now. But all the things that are being said, even the 4 MPs issues, which actually generated to this, the 4 MPs issue and the Speaker's ruling was even flawed. And that is why we are here. Now, we have to pause government business. We have to pause government business because the Speaker made a unilateral decision, which is now affecting us. And this is briefly, you see, the first members of Parliament issue, the judgment that Speaker brought, which has generated to this, I say it wasn't the right decision because their decision not to contest again was not for this Parliament. It is for the next Parliament. And so you do not have that right to say you are sanctioning them. And that is the problem. And it's affecting Parliament now.
I don't believe that it was his ruling that caused the problem.
It was his ruling
because the effect that you see, certain decisions, a number of things happened that led to this. Now, this is a body, a legislative body with rules, with their leader, and their leader has made a pronouncement. Now, some members of this team have gone to a whole other body
that is autonomous. That is legal.
Even without trying. So wait, did they try to sort out that issue among themselves before they went there?
The report we had.
So with going to the Supreme Court with this issue, now the Supreme Court has made a ruling, knowing very well that we are at par. You cannot supersede. We are to check each other. So because we were here talking about the fact that if now we rather obey for lack of a better term, we rather obey the ruling of the Supreme Court, then our democracy or the theory of checks and balances and separation of powers is now rendered null and void.
Let's get this right.
That is where the problem started.
Let's get this right. The Constitution has made it so clear. The responsibility of legislation, legislation, the responsibility of judiciary, and the responsibility of executive. It is the legislation or Parliament's responsibility to make law. it is the judiciary's responsibility to interpret the laws.
Yes.
And that's exactly what the issue that comes that how do I call it? The speaker did was a legal issue, and he wasn't ready to rescind that decision.
So that
the only body,
so in this case, the only orders as well. That the legislature also has their body of rules taken. They are based on the Constitution.
That is
now, Clement, this issue is something that I know Clement will want to. So
a moment before Clement comes in, you see the legislature, which is Parliament, their responsibility is to enact laws.
Yes.
They are not supposed to interpret laws. Per the Constitution, the laws are interpreted by the judiciary.
Exactly.
And so the matters that Parliament works in consensus.
Yes.
So matters that consensus is unable to resolve, you go to where the institution that is mandated to interpret the law. And that is what people want.
So Clement, take us
I think Mr. Afrifa should relax on this very matter.
Oh no, I'm relaxed.
Because this issue we are talking about, if you are saying the speaker decision some months ago is void or he made a mistake, we were in this country last 4 years. This same, we are not going. Let's speak to the matter. This same MPP government, they were the same people who invoked the same article on their own member of parliament.
Because he decided
where were they?
to go independent.
That's my first question. Mr. Afrifa, please don't respond. Where were they? When they invoked that same article on their own member of parliament, by then they were having their own person as what? A speaker of parliament.
Yeah.
Was that decision also wrong? That doesn't mean that as at that time the NPP in the house and the speaker of parliament didn't know what they were doing.
It could have been contested.
I'm coming.
In parliament, in courts.
But sorry to say, who are in the Asamna court no? Some years ago, you did the same mistake.
And it was not
the president should be in law.
Mr. Afrifa,
the law says it went to the law. It's an interest. I can have an issue with you. You decide to stay home without doing anything.
But
another person will decide to go to test the law. And that is why the judiciary.
Please, let me make my point clear. So, indirectly, the NPP knew that what they did in 2020 was wrong in the first place.
Yeah.
As I then, Afeyo Makin was still part of the leadership in parliament.
Yeah.
That was the majority. That was is it your current foreign affairs minister? He was then the majority leader. As I then, so all these people, you knew that the act you did some years ago was wrong, but you still did it. Is it because the person was leaving the party? That's why he did that. Because they're not going to interest. But today, going forces say you chop coiners and anka danya. Was it a coinet today? But and then a coin back on danya. Almost a speaker of parliament. So away from that, we are not mainly based on this era. There are so matters happening in this country that might affect election positively or negatively, of which we've mentioned few of it. Currently have to do with some political party supporting other political parties. We know about PNC, they were disqualified, and Bernard Mona went to High Court, Supreme Court. But currently, as at yesterday, they have shown their support to the flag bearer of National Democratic Congress. So all these things are happening in 2024 elections that I think viewers need to know on this very matter. But on the issue of Supreme Court matters, I think we'll leave to the lawyers to handle it. Because if we come to this point, we would get it from different
there will be a lot of back and forth. So let me take a few comments. Okay, so we have one here. HM Joe says, one shocking thing that has caught my attention in their press release, I think this is about the EC restricting some. So it says, one shocking thing that has caught my attention in their press release was in the first 3 lines of the first paragraph. Their memo was made public, meaning it was something being done secretly. Hey, please is a comment. Well,
so on the issue of what Clement just said with the PNC showing their support to the National Democratic Congress. Yesterday I saw that and I was wondering, have they always been, supporting the NDC, or it was after their disqualification that's why they're showing their support? Because why NDC?
So I think last week, let me respond to that. Last week they opened the floor for all political parties who will want to align with them, sake of they can't still remain neutral to still come and have a negotiation with them. So they did that notice last week. So I think in negotiations with them, and per yesterday their meeting, they said in a NEC meeting, majority voted that they should align with the NDC's vision.
Well, over the years too, sometimes what we would term the smaller parties tend to join the bigger parties in terms of support. And even sometimes in Parliament, we can have an independent candidate, he win the seat and everything, and then along the line joins a party. So sometimes, you know, there is like a dice. There are so many faces to it. It could be that, yes, maybe you were secretly an NDC person, or your values align with this party, and them being bigger party, you can.
But the thing is that, you see, Bernard Mona and the PNC. Bernard Mona is actually a lover man of NDC already, and it is a well-known. I mean, a secret. Wait. Let's
correct something.
Just a moment. You had your time.
We are not. You see,
we are not going into
exactly.
That's analyzing the issues.
So you can sugarcoat it.
I want to make a slide. I want to make a point.
Yeah.
So you see.
Before you make a point, you need to understand that I came in here to bring the ice on the conversation. So please, let all tensions come down.
No. You see, our democracy would be much beautiful if we keep with the multi-party democracy. We have come a long way because of the involvement of these parties. But then, you see, it's about time the supposed smaller parties must start taking themselves serious in organizing themselves well and putting themselves up with serious candidates who can probably have an effect in our elections. You see, and it have, I mean, so a party like PNC, after the demise of their candidates, I mean, this man, Dr. I've forgotten his name. I mean, they were doing so well. The party was popular. When he left, or when he was no more, successive people have not put in so much into building the party. And then some people or some personnel are like either they are in NDC or PNC, so they have not shown there so much commitment which is needed in building a formidable.
Yes, but the problem with that is the fact that our two main parties in this country, the NDC and the MPP, have the advantage of numbers. So sometimes some people would say it's best to align with them for some time and then, you know, gain, you know, some footing and some popularity before. Because if we look at this man, Pakwesi Indum, now Indum has worked in the NDC government, he has worked in the MPP government, and in becoming the flag bearer for the CPP, he had gained some amount of popularity that he was the most. Before he went to PPP. To the point where he was the most formidable third option, if we're being honest, before breaking away to form the PPP. And even when the PPP was formed, it was also popular because of Indum. This is because he had been aligned with both parties at certain points in his career. So I think it's just a strategy that some of them are taking.
My concern will also have to do with the fact that the reason why I was asking why the NDC is they are making it so obvious that they were and also very obvious that they do not like the incumbent government because of how the EC treated them. According to the flag bearer, he said they were treated unfairly. So ideally, they shouldn't have just come out to say they are supporting this political party.
You see, for all this time,
There's a statement out that we need to look at. He made a statement of which we need to correct before we go.
Wait.
He said that there small political parties need to have serious candidates, of which he should retract, because all smaller political parties, their candidates they bring out there is serious. It is a NEC meeting and the party's members who vote for them. So I think he should check that statement.
That's fine, but then you see,
thank you so much. We will have to continue this.
You gave
on Tuesday.
You gave us so at least a closing remark. One minute.
Yes, we will have to continue this on. We will continue this on Tuesday. So there will be another All Stars discussion. A lot of people have analysis to make. Let me take the comments we have here. So this one says, we have seen the agenda of this government to hide behind unanimous courts to always perpetuate its intents. Please tell Mr. FIFA the day of reckoning is coming. Emre Yening. So thank you so much for your comments. All too soon, this very hot conversation has come to an end, and we are promising that on Tuesday and on Thursday next week, being the first week in December, gearing up into elections, we will have more of this conversation, and hot takes will be given here. Please remember to keep it decorous. And then the special voting is also to take place on the 2nd of, so seeing the adverts on the TV, we'll be launching Poll Watch, bringing you election coverage here on Clog TV as well. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. A big thank you to you, cherished viewers. A big thank you to management, production teams, everybody that joined hands to make this show a success. We say we are most grateful, and we do wish you an amazing weekend ahead. Please don't forget to go and vote. Thank you.